My new seat mounts arrived this week. Some assembly required. From last time we came up with these kind of prototype end pieces, and I think these are roughly what I'm going to need, plus a bit of welding, bending, drilling, etc. to make the full seat mounts. Basically all I have to do is recreate this at one end and then figure out how long it needs to be, and then on the other side it's going to be a very similar piece, except I'll have to weld on weld on like an extra piece like that or something. That's roughly the idea we're going for, but we'll see how that goes. I'm really interested to see how difficult it's going to be to bend this, because I've just got the vise that's not bolted down, which could be an issue. Seat mount number, or seat rail number 1, or prototype number 1. Fairly successful looking. Obviously we recreated the bend we had at that end, and it joins in a single piece between the rear mount, or whatever, rear nodule to front mounting point. And then when we get it all lined up, we'll be able to put bolt through here to mount the seat rail too. So it sits something like this. There is a small amount of flex in this, but when these two are bolted together, I think there's a lot less flex, because it's twice as thick. And I'm still going to add the bracing that goes between them, at least at the front. Not sure about at the back. But also, if I think about what the OEM seat rails look like, it's just two runners like this, and they are not made out of 3mm thick steel. So I think even just with the two it wouldn't be a problem, but we'll see. This is just the first prototype. I have forgotten what, if any, of this I filmed, but this is where we're up to with the seat mounts. So I've welded together those two halves with these pieces, which somewhere in here is where the bolt hole is going to sit to bolt the actual side mount seat rails to. And now I need to flat back the welds so that it can sit either on the floor pan of the car, or let the side mount of the seat sit on it. When we flatten them down, we will see how good or otherwise these welds are, which might give us a better idea of how safe this whole seat mount arrangement is going to be. Okay, there we go, all ground back smooth, or smooth enough. We won't go too close and look at them. I had to make this hole slightly oval shaped with the file, just because it didn't quite line up. If or when I make this seat mount or similar again, I think I would probably make the shapes, weld the whole thing together, and then drill the holes, because I think when I welded in this cross piece, which I did tack in place first and move around to get right, but I think it's possible that things moved, either things moved and warped with the heat, or I just didn't quite have, you know, a perfect alignment of everything. So if I drilled this after, I could probably just drilled it in the right place first go. But you live and learn. This is the first time fabricating something like this. So I've test fitted it in the car now, and this all fits pretty well. So I need to figure out what I can do about mounting the side mounts, where I need to drill holes and put bolts and things. So I shall look at that now. I've been test fitting the new seat mount, and it's a bit of a nightmare working around the carpet, but these squares here are where the heads of the bolts foul. So I'm just going to have to cut those areas a bit more. Well, I'm going to have to cut those areas out so that the bolts can fit. I'm saying that this is okay to do because there's already plenty of holes in here from the factory, and there's even a locating pin hole there. This light's going to fall down soon. So I don't think that this conveys any actual strength. Where you attach is here and fixed straight into the floor, so I think that that's all right to do. The main way we will judge success here is if I don't set fire to the carpet or anything else. car isn't on fire yet. I fitted this seat mount in, and it seems to sit pretty nicely in the holes that we cut. So that's mission accomplished. Here we have the seat test fit in place. Not fully bolted down because I want to just clean up the threads, but it is on the seat mount base that I made. Okay, not sure exactly how much you can see, but in there, obviously you can see the proof that it's on the seat mount that I made. Okay, so sat in the seat, it's pretty good. I mean, like, harnesses are okay. I'm probably borderline a little bit too tall for the seat, but I think we'll get away with it. Maybe I'll look for a different seat. So I still need to figure out how to mount the other harnesses, whether I'm going to do them to the seat mounts, which I do have. I might have some room to do, or if I want to put them through the floor of the car. Previously I wasn't that excited about doing that because I didn't want to drill a hole in the car, but now I've cut so many holes, fixed so many holes in it, that I don't think it makes much difference. So I'll think about that. So the whole reason for building the seat base, if you recall this whole process, was to get me to sit lower in the car. So with the standard seat base, my head would hit the roof when I had my helmet on, which isn't too much of an issue. I don't think there's any rules against that, but just makes me think, like, if you were to roll over, would that be the best situation? I don't know. And with these new seat mounts I've checked, I will demonstrate now, the helmet does not hit the roof, which is good. I'm in. I guess you can't really tell. I still hit this bar here, but there's no avoiding that unless I can sit on the actual ground. You know, I'm not hitting that. This is how it was previously with the OEM seats on the lowered seat mounts, so that's all good. Okay, regular viewers will know that we've been struggling a little bit with organisation recently, so there's been some efforts to tidy up. The workbench is clear, we look a little bit better out here. There's more space to move around in the garage. This is the rubbish pile. But unfortunately, the inescapable gravity well of machine mart has pulled me in, and I have purchased myself a tool chest to hopefully help me be even more organised. So we're going to pop that over here and see if it makes any difference to the way that I work. We'll do a bit of an unboxing. I think I'm going to have to cut the box because this thing weighs 50 kilos, so there's zero chance I'm lifting it out the top there. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Oh, the polystyrene fans going wild for this one. I know you're out there. Oh. I got a nice handle and presumably some wheels. Ooh, look at these bad boys. The gold chrome. I have to get those on the Mazda. We are going in the right direction, but I would just like to highlight my stupidity. So we've got to put this pull handle on, and the holes in this are threaded, and those, you can't really see it, those are through holes. So I was like, okay, well, the bolts obviously go from the inside, that's a bit of a pain. Pull the drawers out, you can reach through, we can get to these holes here, but these ones are not accessible from the inside. So then I realised you're supposed to put that in and then screw through. But that's okay, we figured it out. So there we go. Fully constructed, got the handle on there. I'm not promising we're going to be organised now, but we have one less excuse to use. So I'll get this filled up with tools. This doesn't really help us get the Mazda back on the road at all, but it makes me feel better. Here we go. So somewhat filled up. So there's stuff in all these drawers. We'll see what kind of an organisational system I decide to go for in the end. Obviously that drawer's already a bit overfilled, but there's a nice preview of all the organisation we've been able to benefit from there. Still got to move a few other things around, but we like the tool chest. We will see how it fares as we go on. The main reason for not working much on the suspension this week is just because I'm lazy and didn't get around to it. But another small reason is that I'm actually waiting for, I need to send the shocks back to get something, a little issue addressed with them. But that should all be sorted out soon. So next episode there will be some work on the car, getting some actual progress done and getting closer to being back on the road. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do, whether the car goes back on the road this year or not. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope there was enough stuff in this episode which was interesting, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.